Hi guys, Steve from Patriot Bars here. Today I want to show you a couple of new ways that I'm using my wrist roller in 2025, so stay tuned. Now you'll notice I have the Patriot wrist roller here, but don't worry, what I'm about to show you will work on absolutely any brand of wrist roller, so whatever you have, Patriot or not, you can use it. You'll also notice that I'm wearing gloves. I'm in my cold garage right now. It's not that cold, but honestly, sometimes I train outdoors and stuff like that. So often when using grip strength products, it's very helpful to have gym chalk. But the problem with gym chalk is that typically in the cold, it's not that effective. This is for when you're sweating and stuff like that. So grippy gloves like this, they are very useful for using grip strength products in the wintertime. Now in the past, what I used to recommend for wrist roller training was basically continuous rolling. Just roll and roll and roll, hold it about sternum level, roll until you get to the top, reverse the direction, roll back down, wait until it hits the ground or you run out of rope, and then reverse direction. Just keep going and going and going. And there's nothing wrong with doing this. But I found that, the results vary because it matters which way you start. In other words, it matters whether or not you start rolling it this way, like you're revving the throttle on a motorcycle, or forward like this. Because as you reverse it, your wrists feel a whole different thing. So although continuous rolling is acceptable, I now have a method that I think is a little better. So stay tuned, I'll show you that in just a second here. Now instead of continuous rolling, the way I'm now doing it in 2025, and I'm going to step back on this little step here to show you, is what I'm doing is that I'm extending straight out and I'm rolling straight forward. Not like you're revving the throttle on a motorcycle, just straight forward, straight forward, straight forward, like such. I feel like that works my forearms better. Because remember, these things are called wrist rollers, but let's face it guys, mostly it's a forearm strengthening tool. So again, straight out, turn to the side, straight out. This really lets me feel the burn, probably works my front delts a little as well. Now after I roll straight out, for part 2 of the set, in other words the superset, I reverse my grip like such, kind of like you're doing a bicep curl, and I roll this way. So basically, you're only doing 2 different movements. I reverse, and I go back to straight out rolling, straight out rolling. Straight out rolling. When I'm done with that, I let it down, and I go to the reverse. Like I'm doing a bicep curl, but in one continuous motion. I can really feel that. Doesn't take much. But when you do one and then the other right afterwards, you're basically working your forearm on both sides, I feel. I feel the burn is better and it's more effective than any other way I've ever tried. So to recap, and I'll get a little closer, we won't use weight so I can show you this. The 3 ways to do it are continuous rolling till you get to the bottom, continuous rolling, but that's not the way I like. The way I like to do it is to hold it straight out, roll this way, roll this way, roll this way, and then at the end of that set, reverse your grip and roll this way. That's what I feel is the most effective. That's what I'm doing in 2025. Now, we're not done with our grip yet. Let's go over how to superset additional exercises in addition to the wrist roller. Now, like we talked about earlier, even though these are called wrist rollers, no matter who sells them to you, what they basically exercise is your forearm. They don't hit your fingers all that much. What does? Well, pinching. I've got the Patriot pinch block right here. Bet you knew I was going to say that. Now why? Because this works my fingers and my thumb. By pinching, I'm working on squeezing. And that's something that's very hard to do without a special tool to do it. Do you have to have a pinch block? No, you do not. Pinch blocks are very convenient, but you can also use You can also take a couple of cast iron plates, pinch them together, and train your pinch grip like this. However, I prefer the pinch block because it's plate loadable. I can pitch as much or as little as I want. I don't have to be stuck with 35s, 45s, 25s, and their multiples. You see what I'm saying? I can put as much weight as I want on the Patriot loading pin right here. Now every Patriot pinch block comes with its own carabiner and an extremely heavy duty loading pin, which can also be used for, if you like me, have a cable machine set up on your power cage in your garage or something like that. Good for those all-important tricep press downs. It's hard to duplicate a tricep press down with any other exercise really. Dips come pretty close, but tricep press downs are still important. Also good for your ab cable crunches. This is an excellent exercise in addition to toes to bar, hanging leg raises, hanging knee raises, usually done from Patriot Bar in my case, but I like this one too. And of course, the good old face pull. Gee, I wonder if anybody on the internet has ever suggested this particular exercise before. Little joke, but very good for your back, and it hits it from a different angle. You can't skip the face pull, but you probably already knew that. So as you can see, the Patriot loading pin that comes with every Patriot pinch block that we sell has many of its own uses on cable machine setups or whatever else you need a loading pin for. Now guys, is this an advertisement? Yeah, you bet it is. But I would never talk to you about a product that I didn't personally use and believe in. Now all our products are made right here in Michigan, USA. Our grip strength products and our pull-up bars. We have never had a customer complain about a product, and we're considered tops in the industry in our categories by many. So I'm proud of what we have to offer. Right now we're offering a sale. Buy any Patriot Grip product, a wrist roller or a pinch block, and get a second Patriot Grip product for 50% off. Free shipping to anywhere in the Continental United States. Head on over to patriotbars.com to check out what we have to offer. But enough sales talk. Now let's get on to one final superset that you can do to maximize your grip training. Now the last exercise that I like to do at the end of my grip strength workout, which is usually done at the end of a regular workout, is the bean bucket. Bet you thought this was rice. Well, not this time, it's beans, just dried beans. Now what is the difference between the bean bucket and the rice bucket? Well, not much. But unlike the rice bucket, like when you pull your hand out, it'll be all white and you gotta wash it pretty much immediately. The beans, the dried beans, leave very little residue, but the workout is the same. So let's get a close up here. What exactly is going on inside the bean bucket? I make a fist, I shove it in, I go right, and then I go left. So I'm going like this, and then I'm going like this. And then I'm opening my hand, closing my hand. Forcing it open, forcing it closed. Shove it in, force it open, force it closed. Force it open, force it closed. Force it open, force it closed. It's like that exercise with the broccoli bands where you open your hand like this, the extensor muscles on the back of the fingers. The rice, or in this case the beans, provides that resistance. And at the end of a set of wrist rolling or what have you, this will really finish off your grip so that you're good and tired afterwards. Well guys, that's pretty much all I've got to say on the subject of grip strength training for 2025. I'll see you next year with more grip strength videos, hopefully. Now, I gotta say that wrist rollers, pinch blocks, the rice bucket, the bean bucket, these aren't bodybuilding tools, guys. They're not gonna get you swole, I wouldn't think. But who are they for? Who do they help? Well, let's see, baseball players, martial artists, and operators who have to maintain control of their weapon at all times, who have to hold their weapon in a vice grip for improved accuracy and also weapon retention. Not to mention anybody who just needs a stronger grip for everyday life. Construction workers, myself, I do a lot of work with my hands. Anybody who can benefit from a stronger grip can benefit from Patriot grip strength products or just using whatever brand you happen to have. So in any case, thanks for watching. This is Steve from Patriot Bar signing off. Train hard, God bless America, or wherever it is that you happen to live, my friend.